Welcome in alongside Roy Ogletree, Mr. Tuesday Twinkle Toes.
Don't like that.
No, I don't think I like it either, but it's the first thing that came to my mind.
We'll think of something.
Yeah.
Twinkle toes?
Yeah, no. It's not my best work.
I'm not even that good at
Nolan
dancing.
Ryan threw 7 no-hitters. He didn't throw 700. Okay?
Right, yeah.
Sometimes
Justin Verlander has a 5 ERA right now, so.
Yeah, again, so sometimes you've got heat, sometimes it's cheese.
No, I'm just saying you've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's maybe time to,
Pull in a reliever?
Yeah.
Emery, you're in.
Yeah. Time to hang him up.
I was on a friend's podcast the other day, and we were talking. She's a big baseball fan. It was a music podcast, but she was a big baseball fan. I said, one of the things I think that's hilarious about baseball is that the only player who gets publicly shamed for failing by the manager is the pitcher.
Yeah.
Like, if the third baseman, makes an error, he doesn't come out and take his glove away.
Right.
But if you have a bad inning, the manager will walk out and basically go, "Give me the ball right now. Yeah. You have failed all of these people.
Go think about what you've done."
Yeah.
In the bottom, not even in the dugout.
Here's the thing. Go to the dugout, put a jacket on.
Yeah.
The trainer will give you a Gatorade and sit at the end of the bench by yourself.
Away from everyone.
And think about what you've done. Think about it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, but the second baseman, he made 2 errors in this inning. I'll deal with him privately.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be shamed in front of 50,000 people.
Yeah.
You, sir, you embarrass me as a baseball man. Get off my field. I'll see you tomorrow.
You should love you.
Exactly.
That was bad, and you should feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But what about the center fielder didn't see the ball in the sun? I'm going to be mad at the sun. The sun,
sir, he gets paid.
It's always there.
Sir, he gets paid $25 million a year. We brought you up from AAA.
Yeah. Okay, Big 12. My opinions have changed on TCU and UCF. Arrow pointed up on them.
Okay. What a game.
Arrow pointed down on West Virginia and Kansas now. And Kansas, man, they need a win in the worst way right now. They've lost 2 close games that they would not have lost a year ago with Jalen Daniels. They would not, with Jason Bean either. They would not have lost a game like that.
And, they were up 20-17 going into that because I was watching it while we're, again, I'm trying to do 1,000 shows and put together shows while also watching football.
Yeah.
But I was watching the fourth quarter, and it's just they kind of just let UNLV pick them apart, like death by 1,000 cuts, until inevitably I was like, oh, they're going to lose this game. Yeah. And they did, and they got in by the skin of UNLV did by the skin of their teeth to win that, to get the go-ahead touchdown. And the ensuing final possession by Kansas was just all out of sorts and never materialized at all. And it's like Jalen Daniels started out hot and then looked pretty bad, going that second half of that game. I don't know. I don't know if it's essentially just a quarterback problem, but he's not the same player.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and look, they're playing West Virginia this week, who like I said, Arrow pointed down on both of them.
Movable object meets
at Morgantown, and I really don't know how this game is going to go.
Yeah.
Neither of them have hit their full potential yet, and both have looked like a carbon, not like a copy of a copy of a copy of last year's team for each of them. You can still read what's there, but it's faint.
Yeah.
And that's
this
what
wasn't Xeroxed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like sideways off the page a little bit.
You never had to see my elementary school had the hand crank, it was purple ink. So they would put a piece of paper in one side, and then they would crank it, and it had purple ink, and that was copy.
Did you grow up in the Dark Ages? What is this?
Yeah, a little tiny Catholic school in 1986 in Bossier City, man. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, they still had that. Now I knew there were Xerox machines elsewhere because my dad had one at his house.
Yeah. They just couldn't get one at the school.
Yeah, they just couldn't get one at the school. The nuns had to just.
It's like it's that and the somebody used to say, I think it was Gary Goldman used to say the paper cutter that could decapitate a horse.
Oh yeah. They had that. I remember when I moved to Florida, they had a Scantron machine.
Ooh.
And
the worst, by the way.
Like the kids, like you would get an opportunity like during other times to like go like, all right, hey, will you go take these up and run them through the Scantron machine? You're like, oh, this is a nice little 15-minute break.
Yeah.
And you like it was fun for me, like listening, and you're like, oh man, sorry about your luck, Royden.
Yeah.
Guess you don't know that much about King Henry V.
Yeah, meanwhile, I got all the answers right, but it was just one off. So you got a 2 instead of a 92.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that Kansas and West Virginia are definitely trending down. I'm wary if they say Cam Rising's going to be okay. I'm wary if he can't go, or say, which he's been known to do, prior he gets injured again. Mm-hmm. They have their offense is not good without him. He really makes them move. I think they are the most dependent on one player of any team. And yeah, you could say that if a team loses their quarterback, they're not going to succeed. Like if Kansas State lost Avery Johnson, where would they be? I'm not sure their backup situation. But they brought in a kid that was literally 7 years younger than Cam Rising. That's crazy. Like, when Cam Rising was going to his senior prom, this kid was in like 2nd grade.
No, you would have been in
he'd been like 5th
or 6th grade.
Yeah, but like, you could tell even in the Baylor game, that kid was a little like shell-shocked when he kind of got out there. But if they don't have that guy to move their offense along, then it's going to be tough uphill battle like it was all of last year for them. So now, I'm wavering on that.
Isaac Wilson, better than the quarterbacks that they had last year, and he proved that out last week, even though it was Utah State.
Yeah.
Like, neither of the quarterbacks last year would have put up those numbers, but Cam Rising needs to be the guy for them.
I mean, they put up 38 points. It's against Utah State. Utah State doesn't have a coach.
But my opinion on Arizona State is trending slower up, but up, because they've got some moxie to them. They're striking on the attitude of Kenny Dillingham, who I really like. But the rest of the league, like, this is going to be a big thing. Baylor and Colorado this weekend is going to kind of solidify what I think about both of them.
Yep.
I think that will solidify where I feel down
no
the
game
line.
is more dependent on, like, no team is more dependent on one win than to where we think for
these
either.
Two.
Yeah,
these
where
two.
They're just like,
this is a swing game for them, because if either one of them don't win this, it's going to be really hard for them to make a bowl game.
Right.
Really hard, because Colorado's schedule is at UCF, a game I don't think that they're like, that is a terrible matchup for them. With the running game, then Kansas State, terrible matchup for them with a running game back-to-back. Arizona, look, Tetaroa McMillan versus Travis Hunter, I'm here for that, but I don't really know how that's going to go.
They won this game. They won 28-9, but they were, again, against Colorado State, who was terrible. Overmatched. But like, they won on dependence, like I said last week when I called them a fake football team. They won on the back of their star play, which you can do, but they're so star dependent. They won on the back of Travis Hunter making unbelievable plays.
Yeah, their last 3 games, they have to get to 6 before they're like, Colorado has to get to 6 for their last 3, which are Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma State. And I know I'm disappointed in Kansas, but by that time, November 23rd, I think that they would be like, well, we're just going to run high shaw and kneel at you until you're blue in the face. Because I don't see that getting fixed at Colorado anytime soon. And then you're talking about Utah, who runs the ball at you, Kansas will run the ball at you, and Oklahoma State, who will run the ball at you, and also has wide receivers that you can't mess around with. So,
are we all collectively forgetting about Iowa State because they just had a bye last week?
No, Iowa State's good. They're
I
good.
know. That's what I'm saying.
Tough. They're just not on Colorado's schedule. But for Baylor on the same end of that, okay, after this you got BYU, and that's a game that's pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
If maybe they might be a little bit more deep than BYU, but still we got to see what happens in Boulder. Then Iowa State on the road, a place they rarely win. Then Tech on the road, a place they've rarely won. And when I say rarely win, I mean rarely won, like back to the Southwest Conference, like Big 12. If you put these two teams in the Mountain West next year and played the first game in Lubbock, like the history
They
would
had to
follow
move it
then.
to Dallas for Baylor to have any success.
Yes, yeah. Like when they, now they did go in there a couple years ago and win.
Yeah.
But historically, which for whatever reason is multi-generational. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but that's how college football is.
I wish it has been the bane of my existence of why can't said team win at a certain place, and they just can't.
Coaches, players, nothing's more cyclical roster-wise
I
than
need
college
a peer-reviewed study of that. Because it's like, well, this program hasn't won. It's like, these people are dead from the last time, and it's just
when you hear
these kids weren't even born when they played. It's like, then why do they care?
Team A hasn't beaten Team B since 1975. You're like, how many times have they played since then? Every year.
Yeah.
You're like, how?
From when they started playing, there has been 3 generations of kids that have come through this school.
In 2020, Team A had 1 player over the COVID line. Team B completely healthy. Team A won.
Yeah.
And you're like, how does this keep happening?
He was really good. I don't know what to tell you.
That one guy that didn't have COVID was the one guy you would want to. So, this game, but Baylor has Oklahoma State, TCU, again, a team that they never beat. West Virginia in Morgantown, a place that they have
never win.
They don't win.
House of horrors.
Yeah. So, there's a lot. There's a lot going on in that game.